Yo, what's up? Welcome back to Alpha Central. I'm your host, Jack, and today we're taking a look at modern women having a meltdown over the future. But let's jump right in, right after you subscribe, of course. Disclaimer, this video was made for strictly comedic/artistic purposes. No offense is intended towards any individual featured in this video.
Do you want to know one of the saddest realizations I recently had? Was that as a liberal woman, it is really hard to find a man who is willing to play the more traditional masculine role in the relationship in today's day and age, who is not a conservative. A man who wants to pay on the first date, who wants to...
It's so hard to find a conservative man that is not conservative.
Seems like what she wants contradicts her beliefs. She might need to self-reflect a little bit.
I left my boyfriend and I've been traveling for 10 days and I've slept with 22 people in that 10 days. My goal was 20 and I just hit 22 this morning. It's 1 p.m. now here in Paris and I need to check out because I'm going home. I really doubt I'm going to get another one on the board, either on the plane or like on my layover. So I think 22 is where we're going to cap it out, but how did I go?
Why are you sharing this information with us? This is not something you should brag about at all. In fact, it's really disgusting.
At 25, what's dating like?
Unfortunately, don't do it. It's scary out there.
Why do you say that?
I have a kid, so my last relationship obviously hasn't been great, but I don't know.
Do you think having a kid has hurt your chances of finding a partner?
Absolutely, absolutely. Last person that he told me he wanted a relationship, but like a few months in, he was like, just kidding, like I'm not mature enough to be with a woman that has a kid.
And how old was he?
26.
Do you feel like he was mature enough?
I thought, I don't know, but I wasn't asking him to like raise my child.
Well,
I just want him to date me, not my child.
What were your expectations in the long term?
Obviously, eventually you'd meet my daughter, but again, she has a dad. Her dad is helping me raise her, not him.
But if you moved in together, wouldn't he have to be more involved?
I mean, yes, but also, doesn't everybody want their own kids? I mean, if someone really loved me, they wouldn't mind, so.
Yeah, when a man is dating a woman that has a kid, he eventually becomes a stepfather for that kid, even if you claim that it's not expected.
Now, I mean, we're all single. We can all really do whatever we want without the feedback of a partner.
Is it possible, though, that if you didn't do what you do, that you could get a better husband someday? Is it possible that the kind of guy who you might want to marry is the kind of guy who wouldn't want his wife to be, in industry?
Not for me.
I think it depends on your standard of quality and what better actually is. So if you identify as better in a man would be somebody who is completely religious or is completely conservative or somebody who is completely against in general.
Well, what if it's even more basic? Just like a guy who, he's more faithful to you, he's better at raising the kids, he makes more money.
If I met the right guy and he didn't want me to do this anymore and we were going to be together, I'd quit.
You'd quit.
I'd
Yeah,
be done.
yeah, yeah.
I'd be done. But that's not where I'm at in life right now.
Is it possible, though, that what you're doing now is preventing you from meeting that guy?
I hear what you're saying and I agree with you to a sense, but I think the guy for me is going to be the guy for me in the end. And I don't need to change what I'm doing right now.
It's pretty insane to imagine a woman like them finding a guy who holds values that they're fully against.
She goes on to say, I'm a 46-year-old female, never married, and have no children. I have the life that most would say fits the feminist movement. I have a PhD, own my house, make 6 figures, published author, entrepreneur, drive a Tesla, have traveled around the world, and I am miserable, in caps. I'm not really sure when driving a Tesla became something like an accomplishment, but such is life. She goes on to say, I always wanted to be married, and every woman who I've met when I was younger wanted that too. She put that in brackets. I was pushed to stay away from relationships by my parents, mainly my mother, of all people. Can you imagine that? My parents stayed together until my mom's death in 2019, and society told me the same lies as well. You are labeled as a leper if you dare discuss wanting a family or a husband. Now, keep in mind, this is a 46-year-old woman. This is not a young gal. This is a gal that's been around for a while, for several decades. And she's come to realize that the narrative, the stories that Hollywood, family, culture, religion, all that stuff sort of tells music, you know, modern pop culture is all a lie when it comes to feminism.
Being in love and having a family is one of the things that makes us humans love life. Jobs were created so we can support our families, so you can't be too surprised when you feel depressed from the lack of both love and family.
No one prepares you for the loneliness that you feel in your 20s. I'm currently sitting alone in my apartment. It is 1 in the morning. I'm drinking water out of a wine glass because it's the only thing I have clean. And all of my friends are either with their boyfriends, with their husbands, with someone. And I feel like the odd one out because I don't have anyone. I have myself and my dog. And don't get me wrong, I love being alone, but I just feel like people at this age are really selfish and you lose a lot of friends in the chaos of being in different phases of life, and it sucks. And honestly, I just feel forgotten about and pushed to the side. Welcome to your 20s.
The 20s can definitely be lonely. You gotta keep trying and trying.
One, it's a coping mechanism.
Seems like someone is lying to themselves once more, saying being single is a choice is just another excuse for not being able to find a relationship.
I'm getting up and I'm like, all right, let me go see if they're talking, if she posted a picture of him. I was torturing myself and I didn't know why. I'm like, why do I need to know? But I just felt better knowing. It's like something I had to check, and I was checking her page every day, all day, trying to see what he was doing. And I never texted him. I didn't talk to him, but I'm looking at her because now I'm like, what is it about her why did you choose her? You know what I mean? So now I'm like, how can I be more like her? Because maybe if I'm more like her, you'll want to come back. There was a whole bunch of those feelings going on.
Jealousy to the next level. You gotta love it. At least she's honest and not mad at him. Sometimes we all need to take a good look at ourselves.
What was the scenario? What happened? I'm so curious to know what he did to show you he was not attached with his emotions.
He just like flowers. Like if it was pretty much, if I'm a provider, why I gotta buy flowers? Well, if you the provider, then what's so hard to buy flowers? Like, so it's like you would rather just give me the money and then I go buy my flowers? No.
So basically, he would give you whatever you asked for money wise, but because he didn't buy you flowers, you broke up with him.
We wasn't together, but yes, because I just feel like it's not that hard to. You can go in Kroger's, you can go in Walmart, you can go in wherever.
But that just might not be some guy's thing.
Well, then you're not the guy for me.
Fair enough.
Because I let it be known, like flowers or something I want. I want flowers weekly. If you can't do that, then.
How much money was he giving you?
I mean, it's like, what I asked. If I need $1,000 to pay my rent and my suite, then I would get it.
But he was giving you $1,000 for your rent, but because he wouldn't send you flowers, you stopped dealing with him?
Yes.
What do women want these days?
I want to be showered, like flowers, like I got Louis Vuitton bags. I don't care about all that kind of stuff. Do the small things. Flowers.
Okay, so you rather that guy give you flowers and not $1,000 for your rent?
No. Give me both. Give me both. Why you can't bring the $1,000 with the flowers?
Okay.
You may gotta stop for gas anyway. Go and spend that extra $10 and give me some flowers.
Seems like this woman just wants the world, and that's pretty sad. What man is she trying to date? Elon Musk?
I'm officially done with dating right now. I deleted my apps, taking a break. But I figured I would share some of my best, worst stories that I have. One weird one was I went on this date for like 7 hours with this guy because we could not stop talking. We were vibing so well. Called him a few days later and he was like, hey, so good to hear from you. I'm in a really loud bar. Let me call you right back. I never heard from him again. He never responded to any message or call I ever sent again. Like, I'm pretty sure he died, but I don't know his last name to find out. After my second date with someone, the guy texted me and asked me to rate our kiss from 1 to 10. And this guy love bombed me so hard. He was like, you're my dream girl. How are you single? Like, I could marry you. Obviously, I felt for all of it. I think I ever heard from him again? Nope. And one guy that I was dating for like a month asked me to give him a ride to the airport. And I was like, okay, sure. Found out he was flying to Ohio to meet another girl. They now have a baby together, so glad I could help.
Now you know what it feels like to be a guy dating online.
Let's be realistic, Samuel. It's about value.
Yeah, and your value is low.
Oh, wow. And how do you know that? You're not
because you're 5'4" and 200 pounds.
Okay.
And 37 years old with 2 kids. That's how I know. in Kentucky.
Okay, that's your opinion.
It's not my opinion.
You never seen my body before, so you just
I don't have to see your body. I know you're 5'4" and almost 200 pounds with 2 kids in Kentucky. And I see your picture.
You just say you
and I'm listening to how you talk. And I'm listening to your energy. I'm listening to your tone. I'm listening to your relationships. See, what it is, you ladies don't like when somebody is this direct with you. Honest. I got no dog in this fight. I had a woman on here earlier and I told her she was absolutely gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't trying to screw you. You ain't giving me no money. What am I getting out of this?
Nothing.
So why do I have to lie? And let's just get right to the absolute core of it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you attracting higher value men?
Am I attracting higher value men?
Yes.
Yes, I am.
For marriage.
Okay, repeat that one more time.
Are you attracting them for marriage?
No.
5'4" and 200 pounds with kids? Yeah, she's definitely gonna be having a hard time finding even a regular value man.
So you really want a sugar daddy?
Yeah.
What if he's 80 years old, but he gives you $10,000 a month?
That's fine.
He injects and he's like, I got a 2-minute bone. You have to like do your thing with him.
I don't know.
$10,000.
It has to be more. It has to be more.
25,000 a month. $500K a month?
Yeah.
Okay, this is gonna be like Warren Buffett or something. It's got to be some rich old dude. You'll service that old man. Don't give him a heart attack though. He's old. He can't handle all that young woman.
I hope I marry him so that be mine.
That's the master plan.
Having a heart attack. How was your heart racing? A little faster? Okay, got you.
Have you had any luck finding a sugar daddy?
Well, we just started.
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of sugar daddies in Miami.
Yeah, that's why we're here in Brickell.
Well, good luck with your search, ladies.
This feels sad and depressing. On one hand, this helps older men feel less lonely, but on the other hand, they are just going to be used for their money.
Something I've observed in my matchmaking business is that women who are smart, independent, and successful tend to struggle the most in their dating lives. And I believe this is because of hypergamy, which basically means that women tend to want to date up. They want someone who's superior to them financially and in status and in IQ. And so what happens is the more money a woman makes and the more independent she becomes, the more her dating pool shrinks, because the pool of men that she is going to be attracted to is going to be smaller. But the problem is men date based on a different criteria.
Maybe they should focus more on what men focus on, and that's personality and appearance, not money or status.
Men are not dating women based on their wealth. They're not dating women based on their IQ. They're dating them based on, is she going to be a good mother to my kids? Is she nurturing? Does she make me feel like a man? Is she attractive? And so you have this imbalance. And it becomes a bigger problem as women get older, because then they start competing with women who are 5, 10, 15 plus years younger than them. And again, because men are not dating off the same values and criteria, it makes it harder for them to find a mate. And I think this stems from a few different things. One being feminism. You know, the road to hell was paved with good intention. I don't think feminism is a bad thing, but I do think it's unsurprising that the more independent women have become, the more childless and single they've stayed. And also the destruction of the family nucleus. As divorce rates started to rise, you had more moms telling their daughters, don't ever put yourself in a position where you have to depend on a man. And like, was the juice worth the squeeze?
This was really insightful because it also cleared up a lot about the reasoning behind how our society acts when it comes to things involving family and relationships. Tell me what you guys think down below.
Question: where are we meeting the men that actually want to date and be in a relationship? Because it's not the dating apps. It's not the coffee shops. I've been trying that. I've been trying that for a while now. Definitely not the bars. Not at my age, because they're all like 21, 22, so they definitely don't want to be in a relationship, and I definitely do not want to be a cougar. Nothing wrong with that, just not my type. I, again, tend to go about 8 to 10 years older than me. I found out even those don't want to date for a relationship. Even they are still figuring things out. Yeah, they are. So where are we meeting the ones that want to date and be in a relationship? That want to date to eventually get into a relationship, that are dating to see if we're compatible for a relationship, not other things. No. I need to know, because I have yet to find them. And I've been looking, so maybe I should stop looking. I don't know. But if you know, please let me know. Help your girl out. Where are we meeting the good men? Where are we meeting the men that actually want to be in a real relationship? Let me know.
Dating is extremely hard, but definitely stay away from dating apps and bars, because you will never find your husband on those.
I named my daughter Chlamydia because I contracted the disease from her father. Chlamydia
it was always on my list of baby names. I've just loved that name. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And I went back and forth because I'm like, it is a sexually transmitted disease and she might get made fun of for it. But then when I contracted from her father, I was like, this is confirmation that God wants me to name my child. One thing I didn't think too much about when my daughter was born was that she is not going to be a baby forever. She's going to grow up and have to interact with people in the outside world, and people are really mean, and they've been making fun of her for being named. Now, she's only 4 years old, and she started preschool this past year, but she's having a really hard time at school because somehow these kids know that is an STD. I don't know how they know who's talking to their 4-year-old about this topic, but they pick on her, and she's come home and she's asked me if she can change her name. I don't really want her to change her name because, one, she's 4 years old, so really, does she really know if she wants to change her name? And two, is an absolutely beautiful name, and I don't understand why we wasted that name on an STD. Why couldn't we have named something like Lakeland or, you know, some stupid ass like, I just don't get it.
Women, please don't take your frustration out on your child. Just because your husband is a jerk doesn't mean you have to be one as well.
I was in an 8-year-long relationship where we had a house, a dog, a white picket fence, but I decided that I didn't want to get married and have kids, so I left that relationship and moved back in with my parents. I was also working a corporate job, 40 hours a week, a nice salaried position, but I decided that I didn't want to work behind a computer for the rest of my life. So I moved to Los Angeles, and now I scoop ice cream for a living. I'm also pursuing social media on the side, but I'm a 30-year-old ice cream scooper. I struggle with my finances because I work a minimum wage job, and it does get lonely sometimes, especially feeling like you're behind in life, seeing your friends get married, have kids, and progressing in their careers.
She literally had everything. A lot of men and women would have dreamed of a life like that. This is definitely the definition of you don't know what you got till it's gone.
She even admits, if the man doesn't match the fantasy in my head, this is why American women, modern women, are going to be single forever. She still has an 8-year-old fantasy in her head of what relationships should look like. Baby, I could sell you this romance and dream if you want, but you ain't getting that 8-year-old fantasy in your head.
This is real life, honey. No magical fairies and kissable frogs. You're a grown adult, so start acting like one.
You know what I mean? I'd probably kill you.
Nobody wants to date us, actually.
The second woman knows what's up, and I respect that. Why threaten your theoretical boyfriend over a theoretical situation? That's just theoretically stupid.
Disaster dates by the divorcee, part 2. So I go to the bathroom. I'm thinking to myself as I'm in there, oh, this is going really well. He's all green flags. I'm thinking we're probably going to leave. Maybe I'll make out with him by the car or something. Kind of hot and sexy, right? I come back to the table, all feeling all energetic, and he's not there. So I'm like, that's weird. Where'd he go? So I wait there for a couple minutes, but I'm just not that patient. So I text him, hey, did you leave? He immediately texts me back, do you want to sleep together? Via text. And I'm like, that's weird. Definitely not now, dude. So I reply, I'd rather take things more slowly. And then he says, all the best. I'm thinking to myself, I'm so confused. You spent 3 hours with me, spent like a ton of money on dinner, and then you have the window of opportunity to make your move at the end of the date, and then you just disappear and text me? Like, what the hell?
At least he was straightforward with you. This could have been way worse.
How challenging is dating at 24 as a single mom?
It's not a lot of good men out there, so it's challenging. It's hard to find decent men.
She's not fully wrong, but to be extremely fair, she has a child. That is a lot of commitment for a man she just started dating.
No one prepares you for is how much crying you're gonna do when you're finally in a healthy relationship. I was single for like 10 years of my life, and I was dating around, and I had situationships, I fell in love, got my heart broken, whatever. But I never had anyone consistent for longer than a couple months. So now I'm in a healthy relationship, and I am having a hard time. The actual panic and trust issues that are coming up for me of having to allow someone to be in my life and to trust them with my feelings, my emotions, my traumas, all of it is difficult. And so much advice online is saying oh, the beginning of a relationship should be really easy, it should be smooth sailing, you shouldn't be having problems, it should be honeymoon phase, etc. But if you are someone that has trauma, PTSD, a history of toxic relationships, a healthy relationship is going to be very difficult for
Get therapy. It'll solve all your problems because there's no way you should feel uncomfortable in a healthy relationship.
I'm single because I'm doing like active work and it's just like harder to date. I just like want to focus on me, and once I'm at where I want in my career and financially, then I'll be able to date.
Would you give that up to date someone?
If someone's willing to like fund my life, then yeah.
Why do you have to look for someone to fund your life?
Because why would I quit what I'm doing that makes me like so much money?
Well, if what you're doing is preventing you from having something that you would desire and would make you happy, then you might say, look, okay, I can make more money or whatever, but maybe I'll make double what I can make or I could make half of what I make working at a Starbucks or something.
I don't want to work at a Starbucks. Like, no woman wants to work, to be honest.
So you want to find a man and get married? And,
yeah, I'll be a housewife.
But if you're saying that, no, that's all great, that's awesome. But so if what you're saying is doing your current job is preventing you from doing that, shouldn't the first thing you do be to quit that job?
No.
Why not?
I was in a relationship for 7 years, from like 15 to 22. So I just want to like experience the single life, and I like it. So I'm going to keep doing it.
So what I'm hearing is she's too lazy to work, so she chooses to use her body or having a man pay for everything for her.
What happened is I got a teenage son, and they're obsessed with me. They sing my songs in his school. They talk about like how hot of a mom I am. And my son's friends started finding my friends. So now it's hard for me to promote, and because now my son's going to school like getting teased and like that, you know what I mean? So it's hard having a teenage son and being a hot mom.
Hard having a teenage son? It's only hard because you're embarrassing him as a mother.
Joy, Chicago, 1 child, 6 years old, 27, commercial banking. Is it Aries? What's some deal breakers for you, boo?
Bums, people without a car, people without a house. If you don't have a passport, this ain't gonna work at all. I'm a traveler, so you need to have a passport.
So if he doesn't have a passport, you can't help him get one?
There's reasons why men don't have passports. It's because they owe a lot of child support, which that's right there is a deal breaker. Because that means you got too many kids, you can't afford them. So it may be a felon. You know, felons can't, well, people who have, people that's on papers.
So far, she seems like someone who's extremely picky in what they want from their dating life.
Can't get passport. I can't do what you can't even do. So I don't really, that's nothing. But if you like willing and open and ready, I can schedule your appointment at the post office and we can get that cracking.
All right, what else, baby girl?
No career. You gotta have some type of something. I've dated scammers, dealers. It's just not worth it. Like, you gotta have a career. Like, I don't think a UPS driver is a career, because
UPS drivers make a lot of money.
I know, but it's not the like.
Does he gotta make a certain amount of money?
Somewhere between 80 and 150,000.
Does the guy gotta look a certain way?
I just don't like light skinned men, and you just gotta be dark skinned.
You're light skinned.
Okay.
So you want to date somebody your complexion?
No.
Everyone can see it except her. The odds of finding a partner like that are pretty slim, to say the least.
Why did you and your first husband divorce?
We were
Who filed for divorce? Who filed for divorce?
It was a mutual decision.
Who filed for divorce?
It was mutual.
Who filed for divorce? Who filed for divorce? Who filed for divorce?
I can't necessarily.
Who filed for divorce?
I did.
Thank you. It's not a very hard question. You filed for divorce.
Well, in that
you filed for ma'am, you just filed for divorce. That's all I'm asking.
But tell
you
me
filed, no, ma'am, you filed for divorce. You filed for divorce. You picked him.
Why is she trying so hard to avoid that question? It seems a bit odd.
You married him, you picked him, and you filed for divorce. Like I said, again, you can't make this. You didn't pick the right the first time. You should have been picking somebody without a job, getting married, and then you wrecked your own home. You left a man who didn't have a job. You knew what he was. I don't care. Okay. This is what I mean. You guys pick on potential and shit. This is why I say college educated, independent, earner, making these kind of decisions. You're better off if a man would be able to direct you. But this is the first go around. You said you had therapy. If you've had therapy, then that means you should, if you work the process, you should be making better decisions afterwards. And now you're in a relationship of 4 years and you still ain't married. The only common denominator in all this chaos is you. The man doesn't want to marry you.
This man did not miss at all. She really needs to look at herself and realize that she might be the problem.
I got married young. I was 21, barely, like 3 days, 21. Already had a baby. He was 8 weeks old at our wedding. And I remember feeling like my marriage was temporary from the beginning. He was the good guy. So I'm here to tell you, it's okay to leave the good guy.
It's okay to leave the good guy? Don't tell any young woman this advice, because that can drive them into a traumatic and possibly abusive relationship, because she didn't want to be with the good guy.
Let me just respond to this on behalf of all the 40-plus-year-old single women who are single by choice, not because they can't find a man. We are not leftovers. We have made a beautiful life for ourselves. A lot of us are very independent, successful, able to completely financially sustain not only ourselves, but our beautiful families. The pool of men who are secure enough in their own identity that they are not threatened by women like that is about this big. So when we are single, it's because we have been dealing with men who are so insecure that they are threatened and they try to knock us down to make themselves feel better, and we don't have time for that.
See, the thing is, she's saying all of that, yet almost every single clip in this video proves otherwise.
We have such a beautiful life full of incredible, incredible things that we have worked our ass off to enjoy. We have probably dealt with a lot of man-childs who can't take a strong woman who doesn't need them, but just wants to be with them. Men have a tendency to want to fill the provider role. And when a woman is financially independent, emotionally able to be okay and feels whole without a man, they don't know what to do. But I'm going to tell you what to do. Be their best friend, okay? Make them laugh, comfort them, support them as they're pursuing your dreams, and I guarantee you, she will do the same in return. So to all the men out there wondering what's wrong with her, why is she still single when they see a 40-plus-year-old woman, understand that she is blissfully happy.
Newsflash, men do not enjoy being the provider financially, so the reason for you guys being single is not because of that.
And here we are, 10 years later, going through a divorce. So he didn't really start this process. I guess it was more so me, because I was always looking for someone else because I didn't know how to be loved or how to accept love from somebody. And so while he was fighting for me, I was pushing him away. But I never truly accepted happiness. I left the good guy. I left the guy that everybody looks at and is like, that's a dad, that's a husband, that's how it's supposed to be. He did the dishes, he cleaned the house, he took the kids to school, he worked all day, he made good money, he supported us. I mean, yeah, we had our problems, but he was the good guy. I left the good guy. So I'm here to tell you, it's okay to leave the good guy. Don't stay because he's the good guy. Leave because he's not the guy for you. Leave because you have to be happy. Because if you don't feel in love, then who cares if he's the good guy? And that is a harsh reality that I'm facing right now, and a lot of scrutiny from a lot of people. But it's okay to leave the good guy. I hope that helps you, as nobody has looked me dead in the eye and say it's okay to leave.
This sounds like a case of, he was a perfect husband, but something was missing, so I left. She's definitely gonna regret that decision in years to come. I hope he finds someone more deserving. You guys have made it to the end. Like and subscribe to prove you're an alpha. And remember, according to YouTube, the best way to help the channel and the algorithm is to watch another one of my videos right after this video. So if you like this video, you should watch another one. Till next time.